In today's video, we are going to go over some of the issues with the John McCain. Going over it a little bit closer, I did find a couple of things that were curious. The issue with the John McCain, from its beginning to its end, is only about 5 minutes. You know, when you start reading through all of the detail here, sometimes you forget to look over here at the time description. And that's kind of the problem with this. They didn't seem to have any issues prior to 0519 hours that morning, where it says the commanding officer noticed the helmsman was struggling to maintain course while simultaneously adjusting throttles. The CO ordered steering control separated from propulsion, with duties divided between helm and lee helm. Splitting of the helm and lee helm was not discussed or at any previous time. Well, if we look at the times here, 0519, 518, 514, 513, it doesn't make any mention of the watch stand changing, so we have to assume the same guy was in charge here of that particular part. Whoever was driving the ship was driving the ship prior to 519. And we don't see any report in here of anyone saying that they're having any kind of an issue controlling the ship. And no changes are reported here that would have caused it. And that's damn strange. That is very, very strange. Because you would have think in an event like this, they would say, at this point, this problem was reported causing this issue with the control of the ship. But when you go through this all the way back to, let's see, 0427, which is 45 minutes prior-ish, they turned to avoid surface contacts in the area. They ordered steering mode shifted from automatic to backup. Nobody at 0436, nothing reported there. 437, bridge ordered various rudder orders to avoid shipping. None of these maneuvers were logged, but apparently were successful since they didn't hit anybody at 0437. 0444, turn to port, steady on course 227 true. No problem there. Speed increases at 457, 459. Still no report of a steering issue or anybody having a problem steering the vessel. And you can read through this. They altered course at 0509. Nothing reported. And two more increases in speed. Another change. Turn starboard to course 230 true. Speed 20 knots. The helmsman was compensating for the effects of currents with between 1 and 4 degrees of right rudder to stay on course 230 true. So nothing reported there. But at 0519, the commanding officer noticed the helmsman was struggling to maintain course while simultaneously adjusting throttles. This is the first time that there's been any kind of a report of a problem. And the CO has been on the bridge, and that's actually since, if I'm not mistaken, he's been there since 1:15. Yes, 0115, the commanding officer arrived on the bridge. 0216, watch dancers shifted propulsion operations to what is termed split plant, a condition in which different gas turbines drive each of the two shafts separately. The reason I mention that is because it kind of is part of the problem that at least has been reported, that they sped up one screw and left the other one at the same speed, of course, which is going to cause a turn. So navigation watchstanders began determining the ship's position at more frequent intervals, 5 minutes, 0426. Nothing reported there. So here's all of these different events and times where we don't see any problem until 0519. Now, the reason I say 0519 is important because you can go down here and the collision happens at... And all of these are reporting in increments of seconds. It looks like this is a lot of events, but the time is nothing. 052358. 5 minutes from the time of the reported problem to the collision. That alone stinks. Right there. That smells like a hack. And I know a lot of you have come here and said that maybe they hacked the steering system. Boy, I tell you what, I don't care how good your training is, if something happens like that and you're in the middle of traffic and you've got a problem, imagine driving down the road and all of a sudden you lose the ability to control the throttle on your vehicle and the steering wheel. And it's not just a matter of grabbing the steering wheel and turning left and right. It's a matter of putting inputs into a computer to make these changes, I'll bet you're going to end up hitting something too. And that nothing happened with this ship. There was no issues with this prior to, it only happened when they got close in. That only happened when they got close to the traffic scheme. And I'll show you this here. This is, let's see, this would be 0750. So this is about a half an hour prior. And of course, we don't have the track for the McCain here. But we're just going to play this forward. And the Guangzhou Yuan does something. I didn't even notice this either. This Guangzhou Yuan, all of a sudden, comes out of the scheme right before the accident. And makes that right turn to go over here. Now, another thing that I didn't notice when I first looked at this versus the report, I'm sorry, I keep wanting to say Fitzgerald. The McCain was moving at 20 knots. Look at the speeds of all of these ships. 11, 8, 11, 10, I think this one was 9. We'll back this up a little bit to right before to show this again. How the Guangzhou Yuan was just motoring along with everybody, and then right before the accident makes this right turn toward the direction where this would have been coming from where the McCain would have been coming from. And it's even in the report that it says that the Fitzgerald was overtaking the Guangzhou Yuan and the MC Alnick from behind on their starboard, so from over here, but moving twice as fast. So when you see these lines moving, imagine their track, moving twice as fast. So we'll play this again forward. There's the turn, and boom. Now, when you look at when this allegedly occurred, I'll try to get this back to exactly what it was. I think it's like 51 seconds and hits this video. Right there. Boy, I tell you what, the McCain would have had to have been in this teeny weeny little area right here. On this bearing, to have been able to miss this ship, but then also be in front of this ship. I mean, imagine the line you would have had to take and the needle you would have had to thread with a ship that isn't under your control at the time to get behind this ship. I mean, I suppose they could have been in front of it, but we'll back up 3 seconds in the video. And this isn't 3 seconds in real time, just it's fast forwarded, but here we go. Look at the needle that would have had to have been threaded there. That's, maybe we need to look closer to this. This may have been an entirely different kind of hack. What happened with the Fitzgerald might have been one type of an attack, and this might have been another, both electronics based. But to lose steering, and I'll go back to this again, and have this entire issue. Look at all of the reports. 52327 seconds, 52344 seconds, 52358 seconds. I mean, the reporting on this is, they have details right down to, just matters of, like, 05230, the conning officer ordered right standard rudder. 0523 and 1 second, aft steering took control of steering in backup manual mode. 1 second later. 0523 and 6 seconds, the port shafter continued to slow. 523 and 16 seconds. Look at all of the things that reporting happening in 15 seconds. So they were clearly in panic mode when you look at this. And once again, and it's in the, let's see if I can find it while I'm looking through here. They report also, and I didn't see this, a complete loss of communications. I didn't see that. They were communicating on this ship as well with handheld radios and sound-powered phones. It was I really don't understand this. Maybe somebody from the Navy can come explain this to me. How does just getting dented and just getting hit by another vessel, causing physical damage to the exterior of your ship, immediately knock out all of your communications. How does that happen? And I'm sorry, I stopped scrolling, but it is reported up here, and I just wanted to find it before I get out of this video, because that just doesn't. Yeah, here it is. Most of the electronic systems on the bridge were inoperable until the two ships parted. Until the two ships parted. Why would just backing the ship out cause the communication systems to start working again? Main communication systems on the bridge stopped working after the collision, and the bridge began using handheld radios to communicate with aft steering, sound-powered phones, which do not require electric power, and handheld radios are the main means of communications from the bridge. How does that happen? Am I just not up on how electronics work on a Navy ship? That a dent port all the way to the back of the ship, dang near where the helicopter pad is, knocks out communications on the bridge. Aft internal communications as a space adjacent to berthing 5 with communications control equipment quickly flooded and was likely responsible for the loss of bridge communications. Well, okay, so if you dent something on the port aft, you're going to lose communications. If you dent something on the starboard amidship, like on the Fitzgerald, you're going to lose. So really, any type of event like this below the waterline, the first thing happens is you lose comms. Either that's the biggest design flaw I've ever seen aboard a ship, especially a warship, that you wouldn't have some kind of a backup system that wouldn't be, affected by taking on water. So anyway, I will let you guys go get to your weekend. Happy Friday. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thank you.